Hi everyone, my name is Abby, and this is my internship presentation working with hand. So, a little bit about me is that I received my Bachelor of Social Work from Michigan State University in May of 2024. And then most recently, I obtained my Master of Social Work in August of 2025. Other than that, some of my professional experience has been interning with hand, starting summer 2023 and then returning summer 2024 through fall 2025. I worked as a research assistant for two studies at Michigan State University, which is Dr. Marash's Improving Probation and Parole and Dr. Santiago's Making Ends Meet Detroit. I've worked as an advisor and mentor for the Pathways to Research program at MSU, a case manager at the Community Mental Health in Lansing, and a clinical therapist in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And then most recently, I did adopt a dog, which I have pictured below here to the left, and definitely keeps me busy in my free time. His name is Bobby. So, just a table of contents overview of my presentation. I'll be going through the timeline of my semesters, talking about some of my tasks, my most memorable tasks and advanced tasks. I'll be talking about my total time working at hand, my career interests, and how my perspective of homelessness has changed, my resume, and final remarks. So, kind of to start, as I said, I began my internship for what I'll be talking about today in summer of 2024. In this semester, I really worked on some things such as video editing, supporting the COC competition, some social media tasks. I helped in the Detroit COC Administrative Roundtable. I helped with a partnership with the Detroit Health Department, and I helped with our racial equity survey support. Then moving on to fall of 2024, again, I continued to help with social media. I helped with the CAM policies and procedures. I started working on our housing learning series briefs and started with permanent supportive housing. I helped with the DHG and hand brunch and learn event. I did some other training support, such as for CAM 101 and COC 101, and I helped started some of the planning for the direct services roundtable. And then bringing me to winter of 2025. Some of these things kind of furthered along. The Detroit COC Direct Services Roundtable did end up happening, so I was able to compare the administrative services and the direct services results from those roundtables. I launched some more social media series to help people learn more about hand and the people that we work with. I did some more video editing and some other of those housing learning series briefs, including helping with the rapid rehousing brief and acuity brief. I helped with the NAEH grant application that we applied for, and continued helping with some other training needs, such as more video editing, and working on the Fresh Start Career series. That brings us to summer of 2025. I still continue to support social media and newsletters. I continue to help with the Fresh Start Career series, video editing for that, and sending out emails for invites. I helped present some of the briefs that I created for feedback and approval. I helped planning for the hand quality training. Um, I helped with Vicky in our HMIS department with the privacy and data security training, creating a brief for that. Did some more video editing and supporting of CAM projects such as the policies and procedures, helping to analyze some things that have changed that may be presented to some of our governance spaces such as CAM governance. And then most recently, this past semester of fall 2025, I continued some of that support. Other things that I've done is support Eleanor Bradford with our PSH and LIHTC, so low income housing tax credit projects and committees. Helped create a board presentation that was presented to talk about LIHTC in Detroit. I helped Zach Bradford, our CAM manager, with Housing Crosswalk to look at the Detroit COC housing programs we have, details about that. I helped with our point in time count, helping with next day interviews and planning for that and the wish list, so getting the supplies we need to be passed out to persons experiencing homelessness. I helped with data visualizations for the city council presentation, and continue to do some training support such as video editing and some briefs such as the moving up brief and NOFO brief. So going over some tasks I completed, one of the big ones that I helped out on was social media. So some of the things that I've done during my time here is I helped this past November 2025 do a social media series for Homeless Awareness Month, highlighting voices of persons experiencing homelessness in Detroit, our PWLEH leaders. I also In 2024, did the Why Wednesday social media series where I highlighted hand staff, kind of their why for why they work at hand, why they work in the homelessness system. And then I also highlighted providers in our community for our Future Friday series, where I highlighted providers, what they do, and just really highlighting the wonderful work that they do in the COC. Another task that I completed was supporting the systems thinking training. So this training did planning a little bit all of 2025, starting in spring all the way till winter, fall. And I helped with creating the learner's guide, which was presented at the second session of our training. And in this skills portion of our training, which was this second session, I helped create some language changes to make sure our language was accessible, trying to find ways to recreate the visuals to make the skills stick better and make them understandable. And I helped create ways to remember these skills. So I did lots of work with the skills portion of this and the preparing portions. And then I also helped with creating the virtual binder. Going on to another task that I had worked on a lot this semester, or my past semesters, is video editing. So when we had a training presented, it was often recorded. And what I did is I took these trainings and I edited them to be put on our learning management system, or LMS. Some of the trainings that I did include burnout, motivational interviewing, HCV 101, the Fresh Start Career Series, which there were about 8 sessions. CAM 101 and COC 101, I helped recreate some of those voiceovers, domestic violence, human trafficking 101, and the VAWA Act. So I did support in this training editing and helping them to be put on the LMS. Another one that I have mentioned briefly is our housing learning series briefs. So these briefs are intended to help people better understand some of the programs and things in our system. So this included things such as our moving up, rapid rehousing, the data and security compliance, permanent supportive housing, a COC brief to get an overview of the COC. So I supported in helping create some resources that will help people better understand our system, the programs we have, and making everything more accessible to the public eye and our providers and those trying to get involved in the COC. And lastly, something I've done throughout all my semesters is meeting support. So some of the meetings that I helped support by taking notes or helping with agendas or miscellaneous tasks in between are things such as the PSH Development Review Subcommittee and PSH LITEC GSD for our internal hand staff, the hand training committee and COC teams. I took notes for many semesters for the Permanent Supportive Housing Work Group and the Rapid Rehousing Work Group. I helped with the HAND and DHD training events and planning and the HAND City of Detroit meetings. And then I helped on the COC funding and performance committee. So my most memorable moment, most memorable task from my time at hand is very hard to pick. I've been here for many semesters, so it's hard to pick just one that really stood out to me. But I think what has been most memorable for me is being able to work in multiple different departments and kind of tie that work together. So an example of this is when I worked on the Detroit Housing Crosswalk. I was able to work with the HMIS team to get some HMIS data about the projects I was putting on our tracking sheet. I worked with the CAM manager, Zach, to put together this project. I worked with the City of Detroit and ESG to get details about their projects. I worked with YHDP to get more of the details specific to YHDP to ensure all the data we had was as accurate as possible to get a good picture of the programs and housing resources in our Detroit COC. So, that's just an example of a time that I was able to really work with multiple different people in multiple different departments on a project and really bring something together that reflects everyone's perspectives. It's been something I've really enjoyed doing in multiple different projects in my time at hand. I love being able to work in all the different departments, continually learn about the homelessness system and the ways that we can support each other's departments and work collaboratively. So that's kind of my most memorable moment. It's just being able to work in all the different departments and tie all of our work together. For my most advanced tasks, I picked a couple because there were a couple that really did stand out to me. And those are first, my time working on the CAM policies and procedures. I had originally done a little bit of this work back in the summer of 2023, but when I came back from my internship, this work kind of picked back up. And some of the work that I did is I went through our CAM policies and procedures, and I was able to make a document and presentation tracking the suggested changes that we got from our consultant and from our own uh, reworking of the policies and procedures to make them more accurate and up to date. So I created a very lengthy PowerPoint where I discussed the changes that will hopefully be a resource to present to the CAM governance. And I also did these changes in a Word document, getting a little bit more into detail so individuals in these decision-making spaces can see these changes word for word and understand how things might be changing. Another thing that I've mentioned a couple times is the Detroit CUC housing crosswalk. So this housing crosswalk, as I said, was kind of gathering a picture of the programs we have in Detroit, how many, what kind of supportive services they may offer, and the length of that, the funding sources, and really just understanding from a glance our Detroit COC. So that was a very in the weeds project sometimes, really looking at specific data, plugging it into the worksheet, but it's hopefully going to be a very helpful resource ongoing to really understand the amount of housing projects we have, the amount of people we're serving, and all these kinds of things. And then lastly, as I mentioned a little bit before, one of my most advanced tasks was working on the systems thinking training. Creating that learner's guide was kind of a large task in the way that I reworked making visuals, tried to rework some language, trying to make, as I said before, ways to remember the skills, and really putting together a resource that's going to help people who didn't, have all the understanding that I did in the training prep. We're just being introduced to these ways of thinking at the systems level and trying to make it as helpful as possible that they can use these skills going forward. So I felt like these were some very advanced tasks that I did, and I'm very proud and hoping that these can be helpful resources going forward. So my total time working at hand has been 6 semesters. It's been a great 6 semesters. As I said, I started in summer of 2023 and came back of summer of 2024. And it's been a long time here, and I'm very thankful for the multiple ways I've been able to grow and learn. So, kind of thinking about my career interests and my change of perspective on homelessness. For my career, I really hope to make a difference at the micro and macro level. I have experience working at the micro level in some of my internship experiences, and at the macro level, not only working with hand, but doing research. So, I'm really hoping that someday I can find a career path where I can balance both micro and macro. I love working with people directly, but I also really love making a difference at the system level. So it's really my goal to find a position that I can do that. Starting in January of 2025, I will be moving to the greater Boston area of Massachusetts, and I will be working in wraparound services with family and children. So I'm really excited to kind of start my full-time social work journey there. And how has my perspective on homelessness changed? My time at hand has taught me so many things about the homelessness system and persons experiencing homelessness. I have learned so much from our PWLEH leaders here in Detroit, but also just from working at the system level. And one of the biggest things that I've really learned is that homelessness takes community-driven work. We can't do this siloed. Working together and working collaboratively is super important, and making sure that not only one agency, but the whole community and system is supporting persons experiencing homelessness. And again, just seeing people for the humans that they are and not the label of homelessness. I think in society we can often label people and it can make you make assumptions. So it's important that we see people for the stories, experiences, uniqueness that they are. They are human. We've all gone through very different things. So understanding that although someone may experience homelessness, it does not define them, but seeing all the things that they are that make them who they are. Here is my resume attached for your review if you are interested in doing that. And for my final remarks, first of all, I just really want to say thank you. There's many people I want to thank. Of course, I want to thank my wonderful hand team. I have been with hand for a couple semesters, so I've really come to love and admire the passion of my hand team. So I'm very thankful for everybody at hand I've gotten to work with. And I really want to say thank you to those I've worked directly with on projects. I experienced a lot of mentorship, a lot of support. Everyone was always very open to my questions and helping me learn and grow as an individual. So I'm very thankful for those I've worked with directly at hand. I'm especially grateful for my manager and mentor, Tori Henderson. She has been absolutely wonderful these past couple semesters, really supported me growing not only in my internship, but in my education and professional experiences. So she is someone I will always look up to, and cannot recommend a better internship experience than working with Tori and her peers at hand. I also want to thank my fellow interns. I've had a couple different interns that I've worked with, either short or long, and I'm very grateful for how ways that we have learned from each other and supported each other. And then I also want to thank my community partners and those I've worked with in our external partnerships. Everyone has really taught me that together we can end homelessness, and this community-driven work is just extremely important. So, overall, I'm very grateful for my many semesters at Hand. I will always remember Hand, and I hope to continue to support Hand, either volunteer-wise or some ways in the future. And I did attach my LinkedIn and email if anybody has any questions or want to reach out to me about anything. But overall, I wanted to say thank you, Hand. Thank you to those that watched this recap of my semester, and I hope that together you and I and everyone in Detroit and across the nation can find ways to end homelessness. So thank you, and this is the end of my presentation.